everybody, I'm Michael. You can see there's no Dean. But welcome to the DaM show. Glad to have you back. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel. Somewhere down there you will see the little subscribe and like button. And today's show is very special because today I wanted to invite a couple of special friends that had some lifelong lessons that I've had a chance to learn from them. Together though, they almost equal 100 years old. So hopefully they have something to bring to the table over time, that they've experienced some things and seen some things. I love them, and I know you guys will too, or if not already do love them. So let me go ahead and figure a way to get a hold of them. I know a way to get a hold of them.
What the? Oh, well, there's wine. I don't care.
The Dean part of the Dean and Michael show.
And I just add the glamour.
Yeah, and we're excited to have Danny. I guess we got roped in to just kind of talk about our passions, about, you know, travel, life lessons, and of course we've got Tom Torso here to keep our social distance.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, and we've got our shower curtain, so we're divided though. But I can't imagine.
Hey, Tom, where have you been?
He just went on a recent excursion out to the PS.
I did. Springs. You know what? Ever since, actually, this is funny because Palm Springs has been something that's been near and dear. It took me a long time to discover the beauty, the wonder, the splendor of Palm Springs. Because it always seemed just like hot, deserty, boring, old people. Well, I guess I'm old people now because somewhere around the time where I turned 50, and I just turned 50 this year, I decided I wanted to have a party at Palm Springs, my mid-century modern party, because there's so much mid-century modern architecture, and I just turned mid-century, and I'm feeling kind of modern in my mid-century age. So I went to go to Palm Springs. We spent a lovely one night there, just relaxing in the sun. We met up with some friends, and when we did, we discovered my friend Tom and Nick had this Afghan. Actually,
it's pretty cool.
It's
like,
pretty
I was
cool.
admiring with all those colors.
It reminds me of Sesame Street. To be quite honest, I'm like, oh, can you tell me how to get to East Palm Springs?
Did they take apart like the actual puppets or characters? Like, did they cut up open like Oscar the Grouch and Big Bird and put them into a big patch, or? How dare you? And
we'll just move on from there.
I'm almost at that mid-century mark. I'm 49. I'll be 50. In a couple of weeks.
50 years old! 50 years old!
I'm going to kick Tom.
I'm stretching right now. You just can't see it.
I still have a liking for things that are just, you know, what I think is cool and hip and modern. But I think that's why, you know, we came up with the topic of the show. It's like, this is not your dad's 50. It's not your uncle's 50. We wanted to put a representation of our styling, and maybe it seems like not it's age appropriate, but it's classic. It's Southern California style, definitely. Yeah.
Not your dad's 50, Dean. Let's go ahead and take it a step further. My favorite form of architecture, and I know that you're a big fan of it, is mid-century modern. So maybe you and I are actually mid-century modern rather than just 50. You know what I'm saying? And with your tiki influence that you love so much, all of that tiki culture really flows well into mid-century culture. People like Shag, who have made mid-century modern popular,
like
and
the Shag silk shirt.
Exactly,
you know,
and my kind of mid-century pattern that I'm wearing on my shirt today. But I do think that there is a way to approach your mid-century, your 50-year landmark, in a modern approach.
Yeah.
So acting 50, not a big deal. It's whatever we interpret that to be. Because I don't remember my aunts and uncles acting like me. I don't remember my aunts and uncles at 50 zip-lining through the Black Forest. But how do we look 50, Dean? What is it? What about like? Because I think we were talking about that. I don't remember my aunts and uncles ever really feeling young to me.
I know, definitely, because I just remember they got to a point where, you know, whichever relative it was that was plus 50, like, oh, I don't wear shorts anymore, or I can't wear Vans shoes anymore, or, you know, but we just now looking back, these are classic items. This kind of represents like, this is our 50, it's our reality, and I think this is just a glimpse of what, you know, why don't we feel like that when we look back?
Exactly. They always seemed, my uncles always showed up in their like jumpsuit drag, like they always wore like coveralls, like constantly. And I go, my brother and I were talking about like going, well, why don't we buy some coveralls and walk around in front of the nieces and nephews? I think the difference is, Dean, and they used to say this, they said, I don't feel 50, and I truly don't.
Yeah.
I truly don't. And I think really you have to take that manifestation of how you feel and live that on the outside as well. And I think maybe generationally, their generation wasn't given the opportunity. Maybe it wasn't thought of as appropriate. I think we live in a time where we're allowed to live as ourselves.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. And I think it's because of the influencers or being on social media.
Sure.
I just feel like, I'm a product of what is today, what's the trend, and it's weird. And as I'm approaching that 50 mark, it's like, am I supposed to be wearing certain things? Here's a little shameless plug to my to the Poshmark
You with the
closet.
shameless plug?
Yeah,
No.
Or poshmark.com/closet/Melly Tiki guys. I used to admire this boss at work, and he'd always have a Rin Spooner shirt. And so, I feel like this is almost age appropriate. Rin Spooner has been great at getting some like those archival prints that are a little bit modern. This is from Original Penguin. Growing up in the early 70s, I look back at photos of my dad and my mom. They were mod clothes.
Yep.
And Penguin was a brand that existed.
That's why I love Penguin.
That's why I love Penguin. But this is also available on Poshmark.
Oh. It's sort of like, for example, Ray-Ban's been around forever, and the Aviator has been around forever, and so has the Wayfarer. But now, it's appreciating and taking those old styles, like taking that collared shirt, that collared polo, or sunglasses that you saw your parents or grandparents wearing. I think really what it is the embracing and transitioning of style.
Yeah.
So when you may be influenced of style when you're younger, I think when you're older, you kind of define what your own style is. And going back to what you liked about your parents, like for example, a pair of Aviators, or my father used to always have a pair of wingtips, always before he went to work. These are not my dad's wingtips, but I do love the wingtip. So there's not only keeping the modern version of the wingtip, but also embracing the homage to the way that my dad used to dress and letting that part of him come to what I present as myself in the world right now.
I think we're rocking it. I think our friends are always surprised when they say, well, how old are you? And then you lay it on them, and I don't feel that way, and I don't feel like trapped in that, but we have choices.
Totally have choices.
Yeah.
And I think it's not only like, what it is about turning 50 for me was actually embracing and being confident enough in who I already was to present to the world. As you know, Dean, and some of our viewers, I know I went through a big physical transformation in the last 2 years. I lost 100 pounds. I found some of it during our quarantine. Hello, yes, welcome back to those extra pounds. But in losing that 100 pounds, it was like, really, it was not only just like going, okay, who do I want to be? Who do I want to present? Who am I? Who do I feel like on the inside? And letting who I felt like on the inside be reflected on who I was on the outside. So I think it's also very important as you get older to start paying attention to what you eat, how much exercise you do, how you hydrate, skincare regimens that we take care of. So I think there is, now that we are financially responsible for ourselves, we're allowed to take care of ourselves in that way. I always like the phrase, a modern take on a classic. So if you think of something like the classic fedora, or the wingtips, or Pumas, which have been around ever since, or Vans, or Aviators, Wayfarers, like, make the classic fit, the classic style, give it your modern twist. However you make it work. Mix it up with something that's brand new.
We're always evolving and changing, and it's a great thing, but
Billie Eilish is not that original. I'm sorry, people. She's just not. She's stealing. Lady Gaga stole from Madonna, who stole from Cher. Let's just be honest. Cher stole from somebody else crazy. Who was it?
we're gonna have to do another segment on that.
Leave the comment below. Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you for tuning in to this special episode with our great friend Danny. So
thanks, guys.
check us out on the DaM Show. I'm Dean, and there's the Michael on the other side of the camera on the Dean and Michael Show. Click, subscribe, check out our Instagram, the DaM Show, and check out our Poshmark Melly Tiki guys. Thanks so much.
And you can follow me. I'll be driving around town, and you can just like go, there he is! Oh my gosh, he's old. Yeah, just whatever.
Danny, it's time to go shopping. So
let's go.
Bye.
Okay. I'm 50 years old.